And now, from the greatest venue in the world for sports and entertainment, Madison Square Garden, New York City, New York, USA. Triple G Promotions and Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing USA in association with DeBella Entertainment and Fight Promotions proudly present live on Dazn and Sky Sports the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant IBF IBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Sponsored by Tecate, the official beer of boxing. Chevy's Success is a Blend, and Technodome. Sanctioned by the New York State Athletic Commission and the IBF President Darrell Peoples, Supervisor Randy Newman, along with the IBO President Ed Levine, Supervisor Hilton Whitaker III. At ringside, the three judges scoring will be Frank Lombardi, Eric Marlinsky, and Kevin Morgan. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, World Championship veteran referee Harvey Dock. And now, the fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. The officials are in position, and they are ready. Boxing fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance here at Madison Square Garden and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer, Andre Rozier, wearing black trimmed with gold and official weight, 159 pounds. His professional record, 13 victories. 10 of those 13 wins by knockout with only one defeat. He comes to us from Nikolaev, Ukraine, and Brooklyn, New York. He is Sergiy, the Technician, Derevyanchenko! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner with his trainer, Jonathan Banks, wearing white with red and blue, officially weighing in at 159.2 pounds. As a professional, 39 victories, 35 knockouts, only one split decision loss, and one split decision draw. From Karaganda, Kazakhstan, the former 8-year undefeated middleweight champion of the world, Gennadiy Golovkin, a.k.a. Triple G.
Okay, boxers, we went over the instructions earlier. As a reminder, obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times, touch gloves. Good luck.
You can feel the electricity of New York City. Madison Square Garden filling up right now. Gennadiy Golovkin, 7th fight at Madison Square Garden. He wanted Canelo this fall. He did not get him. He'd come back with a tune-up against Steve Rolls in June. He steps back up to world class tonight. And his second fight, and really first full camp with his new trainer, Jonathan Banks. He's 37, but he is an all-time great.
A lot of people believe that Gennadiy Golovkin has lost a step. This is his chance to prove he's still among the elite.
We're underway, round one, here at the Garden. Golovkin in the white trunks, Derevyanchenko in the gold and black. Derevyanchenko, very conventional. Sergio has a good jab. He's very steady and defensively responsible.
Responsible and powerful. He's going to need technique against Triple G. He's going to have to fight on the inside and back up Golovkin, which is something a lot of fighters can't do. They say they're going to try it, but you're going to have to back up Golovkin in order to be successful.
Derevyanchenko, a little success there with the jab, able to stick that out. You can see the amateur pedigree right away. Just Getting off first, getting that jab out there, putting it right in Golovkin's face.
One of the issues, though, that Derevyanchenko has had in his professional career is that he's a bit of a slow starter. It's what got him into a bit of a hole with Daniel Jacobs. Happened against Jack Poquet, dug himself out of it. You have to start fast to try to get some points against Gennadiy Golovkin.
Look, he's athletic, he's sound. You wonder, I would put it this way. At his best, Derevyanchenko is fighting on fire. He needs fire, and there should be no greater motivation than right here with this man in front of him with a middleweight belt on the line.
Well, it's funny, Derevyanchenko told me earlier today he planned on moving a lot. Right now, not a lot of movement.
Standing straight in front of his man. Golovkin, meantime, just kind of peers in. He got off to a slow start against Steve Rolls in June. Of course, he finished it in tremendous fashion. There's a jab and another one from Golovkin. He has the most accurate jab in boxing. Lands over 30% of his jabs, and there, a hook off the jab. Starting to get a work, starting to get a bit of a lather. Chris, you ever find out, did he have a bit of a cold, a little bit of a flu-like symptoms, Golovkin, earlier this week?
Well, one thing that was notable about Golovkin is that on the second day weigh-in, which the IBF requires, you can't come in more than 10 pounds over the 160-pound limit. He missed it, just a little bit. 160 pounds, 170.2 pounds. Made it on the second.
Oh! And down he goes, the uppercut starts the free fall.
5, 6, 7, 8. He's here.
It looked like he had weathered that combination, but clearly he had not. Now let's see what Golovkin does. Derevyanchenko fires back in survival mode.
Derevyanchenko put his head down. Golovkin had no choice but to punch down. That's what caused the knockdown.
Surprise knockdown here in the first round after Derevyanchenko had gotten off to a decent start. That is the power of Triple G. Now Derevyanchenko moving his head a little bit more. Has to be a bit discouraging, getting off to a solid start, then suddenly you're on the canvas. Kind of a delayed reaction knockdown. We will definitely take a look at that. The class and the power and the cream rising to the top. Golovkin starting slow and yet gets a 10-8 round.
Started with an uppercut, then Derevyanchenko was looking for a place to hide. He did the number one thing you're not supposed to do, take your eyes off your opponent by looking down. Got caught on top of the head with a flash knockdown.
There were kind of two grazing shots off the top of the head, weren't there, Sergio? Do you think it was just the second one?
There was, and they were legal because he's going down there on his own. But all in all, he recovered well and finished the round strong. All-time
great Wayne Rooney here, the footballer, is here to enjoy this. It's an international spectacle here. Surprise knockdown in round number 1. So it's a 10-8 round, according to Chris Mannix. I know, Chris, you were just talking back and forth, and suddenly I thought, all right, the uppercut got him. I didn't think the shot to the back of the head would do that damage, but knocked down in the first round.
It did look like Derevyanchenko was a little off balance trying to go under those shots, and he got caught in a perfect spot, just went down.
Now he's going to have to really pick up the pace to win rounds here. Again, he is not the type of fighter to just start you with one shot, and certainly you can't really expect to knock out Golovkin. At least we wouldn't expect that. So he's got to get some rounds in the bank if he hopes to win, and he is already in the hole.
Derevyanchenko with 2 straight right hands earlier, straight to the body of Golovkin. I love that punch. I hope he continues throwing it.
There's a little uppercut hook to the body. He's boxed well, Sergio. That's the thing. He's been knocked down and really defines the fight as far as the scoring, but he's fought well.
No, he's boxed well, and he's backing up Golovkin, which is what you're supposed to do. Back up the monster and go to the body.
Golovkin now goes to the body as well with the hook. He goes upstairs and downstairs, and it will be interesting to see with a full camp with Jonathan Banks if they're able to establish what they call a new rhythm. Banks calls Golovkin a happy warrior, said he wants to bring that joy to the training, bring the joy to the ring, and let it all flow.
I think more importantly for Golovkin, he's active. He had a 266-day layoff between the Canelo fight and the fight against Steve Rolls. This is a guy that at the peak of his powers was fighting 4 times in 1 year. So being this active, I think is only good for Golovkin.
Well, he's back in there now. Again, Rolls was the long layoff, and now you'd figure, all right, he's at the camp and lead hook from Golovkin, and he is able to do damage with any shot. We saw that against Steve Rolls. Uppercut. That caught Derevyanchenko.
Derevyanchenko landed some good body shots, counter body shots. I want to see a lot more of that.
appears Derevyanchenko is bloodied a little bit, right in the corner of his right eye as well. Doesn't appear Golovkin has done a lot of damage, but his face, Derevyanchenko's face, says otherwise. Final minute of the second round. Another lead hook and a body shot by Triple G. Derevyanchenko still effective with the jab. 3 more good jabs, but he is starting to bleed there, and there's a hook off the jab by Triple G as well. He is starting to bloody Derevyanchenko's face.
That cut is not in a good place for Derevyanchenko.
You know, Golovkin doesn't even appear to be throwing hard, and yet look at the damage he's done. It's been nice and easy so far in this fight, and you can say he's been outboxed for a good stanza of it, and yet he has the knockdown, and he has his man bloody.
That don't look like a headbutt. That don't look like a butt. That was a headbutt.
That is obviously a bad cut in a bad place. That can bleed right into the eye. They're going to have to do a masterful job to try to close that up. We're going to see and try to find out exactly where this came from.
It was a left hook by Golovkin that caught him right on the brow. Right there.
Second down. Here we go.
So we're not talking a clash of heads. We are talking if this fight has to stop because of that cut, that would be a TKO. Gennadiy Golovkin, if you take away the knockdown and the cut, off to just a slow start. But he has done the damage so far in this fight. Round 3, scheduled for the championship 12. I mean, he is just methodical and powerful. Even with Derevyanchenko boxing well, Sergio jabbing well, he's getting beat up.
Expect this to be a really big and interesting round right here. Derevyanchenko is fight or flight, and he's definitely not going to fight. He's fighting back. There's going to be an interesting round right here.
Got everything going against him so far as he lands a shot to the body, springs to the side, trying to make things happen.
I love those body shots by Derevyanchenko and getting the angle on Golovkin.
He's going to work. He knows the clock is ticking. Throws a right hand as well. He's tough. He's experienced. He knows this is his chance. Golovkin fires an uppercut back.
This is how some fighters have had success against Golovkin. Get him the inside, bang him in the body, and back him up.
Going to the body after the jabs, but he continues to have success with the jab. And now, firing off a combination on Triple G.
And you can tell there's a sense of urgency in Derevyanchenko. If you're Andre Rozier in his corner, you have to know that the chances not great that you can survive the entire fight with that type of cut.
Great action here in round 3. Derevyanchenko making it happen as the odds start to stack up against him.
Oh, what a body shot right there by Golovkin.
You know, Sergio, he doesn't even have to wind up to hit you hard. You know, it looks like he's just placing his shots, and he can do damage. Derevyanchenko comes back with a hook to the head.
Golovkin, his power comes from technique.
Now, the cut is bad. It is in a bad place. And a jab lands by Golovkin, but it doesn't appear to be filling up his eye right now. In other words, Chris, I'm saying it could be worse, right?
It could be, and I think it will get worse as Golovkin with that jab.
As he hits him again, and a right hand after the jab as well.
Golovkin landed a nice left hook that shook Derevyanchenko right now.
And Sergio, if you're Golovkin, that cut becomes basically a target, doesn't it? I mean, that's what you're aiming for every single time you go to the head.
You tear that cut apart with solid jabs. Do not relent.
Good body work by Derevyanchenko. He goes to the body again with the right hand. He's been very effective, and he goes to the head. Right hand to the head by Derevyanchenko. Been effective with the body work, Sergio.
Yes, he has, and I love seeing that. That's the only way you beat Golovkin. You got to take him to the body. Back him up, just like he's doing right now.
Final seconds of round 3. And again, the sense of urgency for Derevyanchenko, who has fought well in this fight. Has been knocked down, has been bloodied, and they have to go to work every single round on that cut. Let's go to Steve Smoger, again, Hall of Fame referees joining us tonight. Steve, why don't you explain to the people exactly how that works as far as that cut and the possibility of a stoppage?
It was a clean shot. If the bout is stopped, it is a TKO win for Gennadiy Golovkin.
You didn't see any clash of heads or anything?
Not at all. Very clean. A left hook that our camera guys caught.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. Just explain to people again, if you, at a certain point, if that's got to, they can go to the scorecards after 4. If it's stopped, if it's a clash of heads, but not if it's from a punch. If it has to be stopped and it's from a punch, that is a technical knockout.
Second go! Second go!
It is amazing how effortless it has been so far for Golovkin, who doesn't seem to be, Sergio, having a great night. Derevyanchenko has had a lot of success, and yet, I mean, this looks like this could end any minute.
Golovkin's not having a great night, but Derevyanchenko, he fought really well in that 3rd round, and he's going to have to have another successful round right here in the 4th.
Derevyanchenko with a lot of head movement as well. Let's go to Claudia Trejos. Claudia?
Thank you, BK. We had a chance to speak to Roger, and he's a bit concerned with that cut. He thinks it's a headbutt. He's not sure it was actually a punch, even though our cameras did show that. But he's asking him to keep moving forward and go into circular motions. That way, he will not be in Gennadiy Golovkin's range.
Claudia, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, they've got to hope. I mean, the first time we saw it, we wondered, too, could there be a clash of heads? That is not what we have seen. He doesn't have the benefit of replay. Here, round 4. First minute of this round, and Derevyanchenko goes back to work, jabbing consistently. Golovkin that time with a 3-punch combination, finished with a right to the body.
And back to backing up Golovkin. He had some good success, landed an overhand right on Golovkin.
Golovkin is able to take his time. Obviously vastly experienced, relaxed.
And Sergio, there are a lot of skills that you learn as a boxer. Fighting with a cut is kind of a skill, isn't it? You know, figuring out how to get through fights when you're dealing with that type of injury.
Oh, absolutely. It's skill you have to learn on the job. You can't get cut sparring in camp, so that you learn the hard way. You learn there, and it gets in your way with the Vaseline, the sweat. It stings your eye. It's very, very difficult to see clearly when you're bloody eye.
Well, Sergio, along those lines, it seems like Sergey is reacting well to this, right? He is not wiping at it. He's not freaked out, in other words.
The worst thing to do is wipe at it, because the Vaseline on your glove and your eyebrow is going to stick your eyebrows down. I mean, your eyelashes.
He's got to keep the guard up as well, and his right hand up there. He's waving at it now, but he is also firing that right hand.
I love the way Derevyanchenko has responded to adversity. Look at those body shots, Brian. I'm telling you, those body shots, Golovkin's feeling them. That's why he's backing up.
Good combination by Derevyanchenko. We are starting to hear word. There's a possibility that that cut was caused not by a punch, but by a headbutt. We'll see what the commission is saying specifically when we can get more information. That's just coming to us right now. Again, they get through this round, and if that is an accidental headbutt, then it could go to the scorecards. So that changes things.
I hope it doesn't go to the scorecards. Derevyanchenko finding some success with his combinations, and it starts with a body punching, making Golovkin miss just like that.
Steve Smoger, we're hearing that the commission has ruled that from an accidental headbutt. What are we hearing?
That does change things. Now they go to the cards at the completion of a round if it's indeed stopped.
We'll give you the official word as soon as we hear.
Okay. All right. When you don't want to punch, you just walk your jab. Okay? Take time to breathe and reset it, okay? When you get close to him, I need to have that.
We have heard officially.
Okay, you let him get away.
We have heard officially that the commission has ruled it that cut was opened up from a headbutt. So once again, as Steve explained, as I mentioned, if it is stopped, it will go to the scorecards. So now the scoring becomes vitally important, and these rounds that Derevyanchenko could be winning become vitally important.
We're gonna call timeout. Time. Over.
Now Harvey Dock wants to take timeout. Doctors are going to take a look at the cut.
Okay.
They're saying it's okay. Round 5. And again, we thought that that cut came from a hook from Gennadiy Golovkin. The commission has ruled otherwise. And here's how Chris Mannix has it scored so far. It is that close.
And let me tell you something. If you're Jonathan Banks in Golovkin's corner, you have to be telling him, if that's caused by a headbutt, you got to start racking up rounds. You got to make sure that you're up on the scorecards, because this fight, it could be stopped at any time.
That's a good point. Good point. Doctors are going to take a close look. Again, here in New York, you saw there are a number of doctors up there on the ring apron, and when you have several doctors looking, and they're looking at a bad cut, you never know. And you won't have 12 rounds.
And I got to tell you, I think Derevyanchenko is aware of that. I think that's how he's fighting, knowing that this fight could be stopped. And if he gets just one more round, he could win a decision.
Gennadiy Golovkin now might feel the sense of urgency. You see the numbers right there in favor of Derevyanchenko. Now, how the judges are scoring it could be a different matter. But Derevyanchenko is having success, and he is landing. Those are scoring shots. Landing with the jab and following up the right hand. Suddenly, things change dramatically.
Golovkin took 2 deep breaths right now. I don't know if those body shots are catching up to him, but he's a little bit more quiet in this round. Derevyanchenko had 2 good last rounds.
Look at Derevyanchenko just popping a jab straight out. Doesn't have to be full throttle, but he's landing. Yeah, Golovkin again took a big gulp of air there.
That's his 3rd one this round.
No, Brad, I didn't finish what I was saying earlier about how Golovkin is physically. He did miss the first weigh-in at the 170-pound limit. The second-day weigh-in had to strip down to reach 170 pounds. That's unusual for Gennadiy Golovkin. So could it forebode something in this fight?
Good uppercut by Golovkin there. He's still a dangerous man, but right now Derevyanchenko is outworking Gennadiy Golovkin.
Golovkin catches him with a right uppercut, but I love what Derevyanchenko did. He countered back with 2 hard punches to the body.
That right hand was blocked. That one as well. The crowd is reacting to it, and maybe the judges can as well. But Derevyanchenko goes right back to work. He's able to block those shots. That jab and that hook did land, though, by Triple G. Interesting fight now. Everything is in the balance. As every round, Derevyanchenko goes to the corner, and the doctors will take a close look.
Derevyanchenko looks faster to me, a little bit more busier. His hand speed is a little bit more than Triple G's in the last 2-3 rounds.
His offense is just tight, Sergio. Look at that. And hard shot to the body. Golovkin is wobbled. Golovkin looks hurt.
Golovkin's hurt to the body.
He got hit hard there in the final seconds. 10 seconds for Derevyanchenko. Golovkin going to try to fight out of it. But we've really never seen Golovkin hurt like this. Hard body shots by Derevyanchenko, and Triple G is in trouble.
The body is Golovkin's kryptonite, and Derevyanchenko found it.
But keep him up. Keep him up.
You got back in the fight with that round, all right? He's back in the fight. That's what I need you to do. I need you to suck it up big time. Okay, I need you to push forward for me. Push off that back foot. Push forward for me. He thinks he hurt you to the body. So he's going right back down there when the round starts. Okay? I need you to push forward. Start touching out that bag again like you're flying. Does that work? I'm cutting. Okay? Calm down. Relax.
Here we're going to see Derevyanchenko finally land that left hook right there to the liver. Golovkin felt that, dropped his elbows, was blocking it. Derevyanchenko knew he hurt his man down there.
Seconds out.
If I'm Derevyanchenko this next round, it's body, body, body.
No.
We don't know if Golovkin is winded from, again, could be a bug, could be a cold, wasn't feeling great. Derevyanchenko has done outstanding work here in this fight, and that body shot, again, that was a wounded Triple G, and we've rarely seen that. I mean, you just don't see this man hurt in his career. Chris Mannix giving Derevyanchenko that 5th round as Golovkin comes out firing here in the 6th. He has got to change the equation here. Golovkin at 37 is forced to dig down deep here at Madison Square Garden. A loss would be devastating to his career. Straight up the middle comes Derevyanchenko.
One thing I know, Brian, is the older you get, the less you could take punches to the head and to the body. And we're seeing that with Golovkin. He was definitely hurt with that body shot.
And the punch stat numbers there. Derevyanchenko in round 5, out-throwing and outlanding Golovkin. Golovkin having a better round here in the first minute, coming out aggressive, and he's just going to have to show more. Good counter jab by Derevyanchenko, and he fires out a few more. He is fired up, feeling the urgency. Up on his toes, moving, he's got rhythm. Golovkin will try to take it away from him. And now we go to work. Derevyanchenko is hurting Gennadiy Golovkin.
Beautiful angles by Derevyanchenko, not forgetting the body, getting the angles, spinning off the ropes, banging away.
Throwing hard body shots at every turn. It digs to the body again. A right to the side of the head. Golovkin is forced to move back. That rarely happens. A constant stream of jabs and right hands. Derevyanchenko's work rate is outstanding. Straight up the middle with the right hand comes Golovkin. The championship pedigree is being tested. Can Golovkin answer? Just missed with the hook. This fight very much in the balance, and that cut, Derevyanchenko's corner has done an outstanding job. We haven't even mentioned it now in this round. It's barely a factor. Good jabs by Golovkin. Chris, this has got to be close on the judges' cards.
Incredibly close. But Derevyanchenko, I thought, has done a great job of securing these rounds, at least in the last 2.
Right hand and a hook coming from Golovkin. Trying to punctuate this round and hits him with an uppercut as the bell rings.
Come back, G. You won that round, baby. Listen, G, you coming back. I like the comeback, okay? Now all I need you to do is take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, let out slow. All the rounds you box. Everything you put in this sport, man. Everything you put in there. It's going to come down to every fight. This is the one fight you got. Okay. All right, let your hands go, okay? That's all you got to do. All I need is speed. That's it. I don't need that one big punch. Every time you throw one big punch, she's going to try to come back with 2 or 3. Let your hands go. Take a breath and let your hands go. You got this. You can fight while you're talking. You've been doing it all camp. That's why we do it in camp. So we can do it on fight night.
Second down!
Let's go. Let's go, G. Let's get this title.
Second down, second down.
Drama here at Madison Square Garden, round 7. Chris Mannix giving that round to Gennadiy Golovkin. Claudia Trejos has more. Claudia?
Thank you, BK. I just had a quick chat with Jonathan Banks. There's sense of urgency in this corner. They're asking Gennadiy to keep throwing those hands. That left hook that you guys mentioned really created some trouble for Gennadiy, but fortunately, he says he recovered. But nonetheless, they're expecting him to be a little bit more productive and make sure that he can finish off the rounds.
Yeah, he started strong there, Claudia. Thank you so much in that previous round, in round 6, and now here round 7. He gets to work immediately, but Derevyanchenko is solid, straight up the middle, with his hooks, with his right hands, and with that ever-present jab.
Making Golovkin miss, making him pay downstairs.
Derevyanchenko is just in great shape. His work rate has been terrific throughout this fight. He had everything stacked against him. That's a good hook by Golovkin, and yet he has battled back. He has been consistent throughout this fight.
You know, one thing about Golovkin, he has never been a prolific body puncher. And Derevyanchenko is not being presented with a very complex opponent. Golovkin throws big shots, but he's throwing them all, or mostly all, to the head.
And Derevyanchenko was able to land to the body there as well. There's a good jab by Golovkin. That's what he's known for. But there seems to be just a little less starch in Golovkin tonight. Again, we don't know the level of his sickness, if he was ill, just not feeling great. A little less starch in his game here tonight. Hard right hand.
That was a good body shot by Golovkin. Derevyanchenko took it well.
Goes to the body again with the right. Bending down with an uppercut. Again, that cut in a bad spot, but it has been managed by Derevyanchenko's corner very well.
And look at how Derevyanchenko lands a body shot and then turns Golovkin, getting an angle on him. I would love to see Derevyanchenko double up those body shots.
Derevyanchenko, the last 3 rounds, has had an edge in power shots, 45-31. So what you're sensing here is backed up by the numbers that Derevyanchenko has been busier in throwing hard shots as well. There's another one to the body. Just missing with that right hand, but he's busy. And when he's throwing, Golovkin doesn't. Tries again to the body with the right hand and then comes back with a hook to the head. Just good versatility to his game.
Oh yeah, he turned southpaw right there. Got an angle, ducked to the body, turned southpaw and banged away. Just very athletic on Derevyanchenko's part.
Derevyanchenko having a good round. Golovkin has had success as well. These are tough rounds. Hard right hand. Crowd is roaring as the bell rings. What a fight.
Get deep breath, brother. Relax. There we go. You're winning the fight, G, okay? I just need you to line. I just need you to keep fighting while you're tired. Let your hands go. Bop, 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 bop. Start putting them closer together, change the rhythms on them. Touch your legs, okay? Just relax. About the jab, man. Keep that left hand on that left eye. Keep touching that left eye, then start shooting the hook behind it.
Right now, let's go to Steve Smoker. Steve, have you spoken to the commission? What are they saying?
Yes, I went over to the commission. They indicated that referee Harvey Dott called it a headbutt. I sort of indicated that the video replay didn't support that. They looked at me and said, in essence, we support the referee's ruling in this instance.
Okay. I didn't see it. Doctors are taking a close look. They have to.
Hey, Bob, over there. You okay?
Crowd, of course, wants this fight to go on. It is a barn burner right now. Round 8, scheduled for 12. Here's Chris Mannix's scorecard, and he has it even. These are close rounds, Chris.
Last couple of rounds very close, but the activity of Derevyanchenko, I think that has won him the rounds that he's won.
Golovkin goes back to work with the jab. Take a look at the power punches through round 7, and Derevyanchenko has the advantage, especially earlier on with that hard hook to the liver of Golovkin, which nearly buckled him. That was buckled for Golovkin, because he's rarely staggered. You never see him hurt.
Derevyanchenko has not forgot about the body since the 3rd round. He's been digging downstairs, and that's been the difference.
Right hand to the head by Derevyanchenko. He has had a tremendous fighting spirit in this fight. Again, he had every reason to think everything was stacked against him. But he is right back in it. He digs to the body again.
Keep him up.
Golovkin is just not busy enough with that jab. Again, I mentioned he's got the most accurate jab in the game, but he is being out-jabbed in this fight.
Because he's being countered every time he jabs. To the body and upstairs.
Now he's stalking, though. He's got Derevyanchenko in the corner. Derevyanchenko spins out. Can Gennadiy Golovkin pull this out? He is being severely tested. Everything is on the line. Backing up Derevyanchenko. Crowd senses it.
Stop! They're off his head.
Sergio, this is the time to dig deep. You just wonder who has the deeper reservoir.
It's incredible, Brian, because we're seeing 2 different fights where Golovkin started off strong. Now you see Derevyanchenko backing up Golovkin. And it's those body shots right there that have been doing the job.
Derevyanchenko, again, the short arms, the stockier body. He's able to dig and he's able to land, doing damage throughout this fight. But also that jab. That jab has just been outstanding. Straight up the middle, although now it's Golovkin with the better jab. It's gone back and forth. Chris Mannix has it even. These judges are looking at this so closely, and these are difficult rounds to score.
Notice how Golovkin is protecting them ribs. Every time he throws a jab, he brings the elbows right back in.
Round 8 here at Madison Square Garden. Brian Kenny with Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix ringside. Steve Smoger is with us, Claudia Trejos, Adnan Virk. And this is not quite what we expected. Although we should learn in this building that that can happen.
That's what Derevyanchenko and Andre Rozier expected.
Body shot at the bell by Derevyanchenko.
I love it, man. Your jab is killing him. That's all I need. The short jab we do on the pad, that's all I need. I just need shooting that jab. The jab is the one thing he can't get back. He shielded right hand, he shielded that hook. He cannot shield that jab. This is all I want you to do. After your third jab, count him. Bop, bop. After your third jab, shield that hook tip, I just shoot it back to the head.
Okay. Great back and forth action here. Derevyanchenko comes first, backing up Golovkin, which is what you're supposed to do, and ending it right there with that body shot. But back comes Golovkin, plugging away around the guard of Derevyanchenko with right and left hooks.
Second round.
Back and forth, very difficult to judge on that round.
Keep those punches up. Keep them up. Yep. Keep them up. Time.
Sergiy Derevyanchenko there. You see the eye is closed up. Good uppercut by Golovkin to open up round 9. They get right at it. Derevyanchenko's corner has done an outstanding job with that cut. It is barely a factor, although of course it is always there and always a possibility. Chris Mannix giving the last 2 rounds to Derevyanchenko.
Yeah, good activity in those last 2 rounds. So few fighters in the career of Gennadiy Golovkin have been able to stand up to this type of power. Derevyanchenko's doing that and is just moving forward for most of this fight.
Claudia Trejos is with Jonathan Banks in Golovkin's corner. Claudia?
Thank you, Brian. Coach JB, what defensive adjustments have you made?
The goal before the fight was for G to start jabbing towards the left eye. Because I knew he would cut easy if you start jabbing towards the left eye. And it happened. He cut him with the left. He cut him jabbing towards the left eye. Only adjustments we made, now he got to just let his hands go more and using more of his defense. He's not using it right now.
He's getting hit more than we've ever seen. What type of reaction are you getting out of him?
I'm getting a good reaction out of him, but this kid is younger than most the kids that he fought. Most guys that he fought. So this is like his nickname. He's the technician. He's letting his hands go. The only thing I need G to do is match his speed and let his hands go too. You see, he can hurt the guy. He just got to start throwing more than 1 punch. You need to go 2s and 3s so you can hurt this kid and get him out of here.
Thank you, Coach Banks. Back to you, Brian.
Claudia, thank you. Derevyanchenko has gone to work, backing up Golovkin. By the way, does Banks think that cut came from the punch? I believe he does think that, right?
I think he believes that. It depends on what he's been told by the referee. It's the referee's job to advise both corners where that cut came from to make sure they're aware.
Golovkin fires back with the jab. Steve Smoger, you want to back that up? What is supposed to happen in that case?
That's the referee's call. The commission very rarely will overturn it. Now in Nevada, they go to replay. We don't have replay here, so we have to be guided by Harvey Doc's call.
All right, Steve, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Again, it just appeared that Banks saying, look, he cut it with the jabs. We showed a replay where we thought that's the way it happened, but the commission evidently ruling otherwise, so that's where we are right now. Now, we're in round 9, so this could just go to the cards anyway, and it'd just be straight up from the judges.
What a round Derevyanchenko's having. While we were in the corner of Jonathan Banks, he was doing some great combination work, backing up Golovkin, not forgetting the body. Just incredible stuff by Derevyanchenko.
And Golovkin there, just as you say that, now throwing that jab and landing straight up. Derevyanchenko has to take a big gulp of air. He fires back with a jab and a right hand. Wow, Derevyanchenko coming right back. It looked like he had been hurt. This has been a war.
Take a deep breath, relax. Wet them down, where's the water? All right, relax, relax, relax. Your time, champ. Whose time is it? Whose time is it? Your time. Don't wait for him. Keep your hands up and keep circling him. all right? When you get close to him, don't worry about chopping over the top. Hit him to the body, okay?
Give me numbers now. You hear me? Every time you hear the numbers, you hitting them.
You gotta use your jab constantly.
Yeah, and you gotta move after you throw. Don't stay in front of him.
Let's go back to round 2. Again, this is the punch that we showed earlier that we thought at the time had opened up that cut. Now, he wasn't cut prior to that punch. Not sure if we're going to see blood trickling out right afterwards. But again, that's what we had shown.
I'm pretty sure that's what caused the cut right there. See, he's already pawing at it without any punching or headbutts. That's what it was. It was a punch, Brian.
All right. I believe that's the case as well, and that's what we thought. Now, then again, this doesn't look like it's going to be stopped because of the cuts, so the point could be moot, and they will just go to the judges' cards at the end of 12 rounds. Right now, Chris Mannix is giving multiple rounds to Derevyanchenko and has him leading, and Derevyanchenko is getting after it here in round 10. Pounding on Golovkin. Hooks to the head. Golovkin is wobbled. How much can Golovkin take? Golovkin's left cheek is reddened and starting to puff up. Jab and a right hand from Derevyanchenko. This is a man who's 33 years old. He only has 14 pro fights. His professional career has never gotten traction. He had the one big shot against Daniel Jacobs. He fought well, but came up short on the short end of a split decision. But now he is having the night of his life.
Bloody, bruised, knocked down, facing adversity. Just what a fight. What a heart of a champion of Derevyanchenko.
Derevyanchenko's punches, Sergio, are just short and hard. Golovkin fires back. Now with the right hand after a hook. Derevyanchenko fires back straight up the middle. 3 jabs in a row. Combinations. The crowd is behind Golovkin. Derevyanchenko has not been moved.
Golovkin trying to do that corkscrew punch that he's famous for that caught Steve Rose and Marco Antonio Rubio before.
Sergio, sometimes guys fight and they know when this is their last chance. Sergiy Derevyanchenko is fighting like he knows this is his last chance.
He has put it all together, boxing beautifully throughout the night. Look at him fire back again. Every time Golovkin starts to have success, Derevyanchenko comes back, beautiful uppercut, and fires a right hand over the top. Straight up the middle. Golovkin even nods to him, showing him respect.
Keep that arm down.
40 seconds left in this round. Golovkin is firing now. Derevyanchenko, good defensive work. And he fires back, straight up the middle. Crowd is on their feet. Another firefight here in round 10.
Sit back.
Golovkin. The bell hasn't rung. Now it has. 2 more rounds to go. Wow.
I thought I heard the bell. Have a seat, dude. Have a seat. Have a seat. How you feeling, sir? You guys okay? We're good. Nah, he's all right.
The brilliant work by Derevyanchenko here. Body shots, but backing up Golovkin. It's easier said than done. Everyone thought that Golovkin cannot fight going backwards, cannot take the body shots. Derevyanchenko demonstrating just that.
Seconds out.
These rounds have a real ebb and flow. Just as you see Golovkin having success, Derevyanchenko comes back firing like that. Round 11, Chris Mannix, how did you score that 10th round?
I gave that 10th round to Sergiy Derevyanchenko. I think his activity has just been the real deciding factor in some of these close rounds.
Wow. I mean, I'm calling it, I'm watching it. I'm giving no thought to how to score it. The judges, it's a very difficult fight to score.
I'm humbled watching both these guys, Brian. It's just I know the adversity that Sergiy Derevyanchenko is going through. The cut, the knockdown, everything.
Claudia Trejos is in the corner with Derevyanchenko's man, Andre Rozier. Claudia?
Thank you, Brian. Coach Rozier, how do you see this fight developing?
It's a close fight. The knockdown has us a little behind, but he's working. He's doing a lot of good things. You can't wait, though. Aye!
You have mentioned a couple of times that he has to throw his hands. What kind of reaction do you get from him?
Yeah, we have to keep it close so he can keep working, and he has a better advantage when he uses his technique in the circle.
Thank you, Coach Rozier. Back to you. Back.
Andre Rozier there. Tough time to be interviewed. It's all on the line here, round 11. Final 2 minutes. Both men digging deep. Well, they think they could be behind, Chris, and I think that's a natural thought, given that there was the knockdown, so they know there's a 10-8 round in there, and there are so many tight rounds.
Extremely tight rounds. I don't think they can be truly comfortable that they've won too many of them decisively.
I mean, they've got to be thrilled with the work. Derevyanchenko has been terrific. Golovkin, though, heart of a champion, Hall of Famer, digging, knows he cannot afford a loss if he wants to keep everything going. But he is down to his last 4 minutes, and he could be trailing. Derevyanchenko, though, Sergio, is just so tight. Again, those punches, the jab, right hand, straight up the middle, difficult to get around.
Very compact, strong. Every time he gets hit, he comes back with a counter, 2 or 3 punches, and does not forget the body.
One thing this reminds me of, Brian, if you go back to the spring of 2018, Golovkin had an opportunity to fight Derevyanchenko when Canelo dropped out of that fight. He didn't want to fight him. He went on instead, fought Madison instead, in a far easier fight. Maybe what we're seeing is why.
Canelo Alvarez will fight November 2nd, moving up to light heavyweight. Most boxing fans thought a trilogy would be looming. This could certainly derail that. Derevyanchenko shaking that off. He's got a good chin. He's been able to weather a number of storms in this fight. One last round with so much on the line.
I need this last round as big as you can. You said big drama, so I need this last round huge. You got one more round in, you got
last round, guys. Touch up.
I need you to put everything you have into this round. Everything.
Last round, we got to touch up.
Jab and set up all of your work.
Big round this round. Throw the overhand right. You hear me?
No mistake.
Overhand right. Let's go, baby. You want to be champ? This is it.
This is your time. This is your time. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
12th and final round. And I tell you what, fellas, Golovkin did not look good there in the corner. He was spitting blood. He is taking deep breaths. He's got to dig down one last time. Derevyanchenko comes out firing.
Firing at the body. 12th round, still going to the body.
Chris, you gave that last round to Golovkin. It is likely very close. The only fighters to get to round 12 against Triple G, Canelo Alvarez, Daniel Jacobs, and this man, Sergiy Derevyanchenko. 35 knockouts in his 39 wins. Wow, that was drama. I mean, just in the corner, the way Golovkin looked, and then Derevyanchenko with a whole team of people working on his face.
Well, it is the big drama show, but we didn't expect it to sway into Derevyanchenko's side.
So much on the line. Again, Triple G signing up with Dazn, has his own promotional company, getting into a long-term deal with the hopes of getting Canelo Alvarez, and now that is on the line, very much so.
Look at those body shots and how he turns Golovkin, getting the angles, making Golovkin miss and trying to back him up. That's key, and that was game plan and strategy on Andre Rozier's part.
Yeah, one of the things we talked about was, does Andre Rozier have a blueprint because he's been the trainer for Curtis Stevens and Daniel Jacobs? In a way, Sergio, I think Canelo Alvarez set a bit of a blueprint, that if you can take these punches, you can throw a lot more back.
Absolutely, and Derevyanchenko executing the game plan. Look at the body, he's still digging away at the body.
Right. I'll hit him behind the head.
Tell you that said, fellas, these rounds are close. We don't know how they're swinging. Chris is doing our unofficial scorecard for us. A lot of these rounds, Chris, is it fair to say, could swing either way?
Several of them could have swung either way.
Important to note, final minute of this fight. Derevyanchenko has made a tremendous stand.
I got you. I'm here.
And he has landed many power shots. The most power shots in the last 25 fights against Golovkin since CompuBox has been tracking him. Again, this is a man who had 23 consecutive knockouts between 2008 and 2017. A man who stormed through the middleweight division. Up against a severe test here tonight. Final 30 seconds. Let's see what they got. Both men have emptied the tank. But they're trying. Crowd on their feet. Uppercut by Golovkin. Derevyanchenko has him on the ropes. Now they spin out, and that's the fight. That was the war. Madison Square Garden on its feet, and it will go to the judges' scorecards. The question is, Sergio, did Derevyanchenko do enough? Did he take enough rounds to offset that 10-8 first round?
It's going to be tough for the judges, but I think Derevyanchenko, once that third round, he started twisting things around, started following the game plan, going at the body, backing up Golovkin, having success. If the judges started seeing that, this is going to be close to the wire, Brian.
The judges are Frank Lombardi, Eric Marlinsky, and Kevin Morgan. They will have the call here, and those were difficult rounds to score. There was an ebb and flow, as I mentioned, Sergio, in each round, where at any 10-second stanza, you would say, now this guy's getting the better of it. Wait, now the other guy's getting the better of it.
Here's how I judge a close fight, Brian. Who would you rather have been in those 12 rounds? That man right there, without looking at the cut in the blood, or Golovkin?
Let's go back through the fight. Again, it was fascinating. And look, you come into it with a certain mindset that Golovkin is the favorite. You expect him to do better. Derevyanchenko boxed very well early on, but he went down from that grazing shot to the top of the head. That was in the first round. In round two, this is where we believe the cut occurred, and from a punch. Again, the commission overruled. But either way, it goes to the scorecards anyway, because Derevyanchenko's corner did such an outstanding job closing that up. There were the body shots, and that's the most hurt I think I've ever seen Golovkin, Sergio.
That's the most hurt anyone's ever seen Golovkin. It was to the body. That was his kryptonite. And Derevyanchenko kept backing him up, kept digging away at the body, and that's the reason these close rounds, I would think some judges love the work from Derevyanchenko.
Well, he was consistent. He was busy. He landed 230 power shots. The most punches by any opponent of Triple G.
Bloody, bruised, hurt, facing adversary. Keep coming forward. That's exactly what champions are made of. This is a great fight. It was a great fight.
And Golovkin tried to pull it out many, many times, saying, no, I'm going to answer this guy right now. But again, 230 shots landed, 183 of them were power punches. He had a beautiful jab, Sergio, but he also threw devastating hooks. Chris Maddox is in the ring right now, but let's take a look at his scorecard. He swung a few of those rounds over to Derevyanchenko, but he gave Golovkin the 12, and he had it by 1 point. Look, and he mentioned, and we do this a lot, Sergio, when we're looking at a fight, we're scoring it. I've done this for decades. You not only have to score it, but then you have to circle how many of those rounds could a judge reasonably have the other way. And Chris even said, many of these rounds were close.
I would hate to be a judge in this fight, and I would hate to be Golovkin going into this third straight fight, going to the judges. I hope this isn't a draw, but what a fight.
Canelo is out there. Demetrius Andrade is out there. Golovkin needs to keep winning. It's not as if it's over if he loses. but wow, that's a setback.
Someone deserves to win this fight, Brian. Someone deserves to win.
And we have a decision. Michael Buffer is looking at the decision right now. Let's go to him in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards here at Madison Square Garden. A round of applause for these two middleweights for one hell of a fight here at the Mecca of Boxing. Kevin Morgan scores it 114-113. Eric Marlinsky and Frank Lombardi both have it 115-112 to the winner by unanimous decision. Once again, a world champion from Karaganda, Kazakhstan, the new IBF IBO middleweight champion of the world, Gennadiy Golovkin. Triple G.
115-112, 114-113. Gennadiy Golovkin pulls it out. Now, maybe you agree, maybe you don't. But those rounds were close, Sergio. We said it all throughout. And Chris is scoring it one way, doing the best he can. These judges also do the best they can. I don't consider it outrageous. I'm a bit surprised, but not outrageous.
No, it's not outrageous. The judges had a difficult job. 114-113, as close as it gets. I'm glad it wasn't a draw. I just feel Sergiy Derevyanchenko deserved a little bit more. He faced a lot of adversity, the knockdown, the cut, the blood, and he still kept fighting. As a fighter, I know what he went through. Golovkin went through hell. He was the only one seriously and visibly hurt. What a fight.
Hey, look, everybody just does their best. Steve Smoker just sat down next to me and he thought he liked Chris Mannix's scorecard. You can have it, and Chris had it 1 point over to Derevyanchenko. 1 point. You swing one round, it goes right back. Lou DiBella is up on the ring apron yelling down at us saying he won that fight. Look, I understand Derevyanchenko's people totally believing that, Sergio, and yet you have to score it round by round, and it's difficult, and that was close.
Look, Andre Rozier, the trainer of Derevyanchenko, was confident to this fight. He knew what he had to do. This is the third time he was against the corner of fighting Golovkin. They executed the game plan to a T, but they didn't get the decision.
Hey, Derevyanchenko fought beautifully. Let's go to the CompuBox stats. Look, when we said that's the most punches landed against Golovkin, I didn't see Golovkin landed more punches. Again, according to CompuBox, they're doing the best they can. Derevyanchenko out-throwing, but not out-landing. The power shots, though, widely in favor of Derevyanchenko. It's an inexact science and craft, Sergio. Scoring a fight round by round, you turn it in. It's a 10-point must system, and when you turn that round in, it's gone. You don't do make good rounds, you don't collect them back, you don't talk to anybody, you hand it in and it's gone. That's it, and that's how you end.
That knockdown was crucial to the scoring, but 114-113, as close as it gets.
Chris Mannix is in the ring. We're going to speak to both fighters. Chris, take it away.
Gennadiy, congratulations. Yes. You are a middleweight champion once again, but this was as close a fight as you can get. When that final bell rang, did you think you had won?
No, absolutely. Guys, come on. I want to say just thank you so much, my opponent. This is a great job, you know, just I respect his team. I told you, he's a very tough guy. This is huge experience for me. You know, right now, I understand I need more.
What did you need more of?
You know, absolutely, just focus in boxing. You know, just after first round, I feel, you know, just easy fight for me. No, this is a tough fight.
Look, you are one of the best conditioned fighters in boxing usually. Third or fourth round, you looked a little more winded than we're used to seeing. How did you feel physically coming into this fight?
No, physically so good, you know, just, you know, right now I think it's a bad day for me. It's a good day for Sergiy, you know, for his team, you know, just, guys, this is a huge experience for me. Right now I'm ready. Right now I know what I need, exactly.
After you pick up that knockdown, did you lose any focus? Did it change you at all?
Right, I'm lost a little bit focus. Just, I don't know, after the first round, I think this is an easy fight for me. You know, and Sergey ready, respect, you know.
He came right at you in this fight, tried to force the action in this fight. Did you expect that type of fight from him?
Yeah, I think so. Just he showed me a so big heart, you know. Just I'm ready.
This was one of those fights that was so close. I know you have big goals in the division, but does this fight deserve a rematch?
Absolutely. If you big fight for the zone for people, of course I'm ready. Just, you know, guys, I'm a boxer. Just I'm ready for anything.
You talked to Sergey for about a minute or so right after the decision was announced. What did you say to him?
I tell him, hey, Sergey, you know, this is best fight for me. You know, just this huge experience. It's maximum. This is draw. You know, just respect his team.
You had hoped after being here in June that you'd be back here fighting Canelo Alvarez and not Sergiy Derevyanchenko. Did that affect your focus at all during the camp for this fight?
100%. This is right now. This is my experience. I need like a little bit more. I need a still strong in my camp, you know, just more serious.
You had said when I talked to you after you beat Steve Rolls, I said, who do you want next? You said, everybody knows who I want next. Is it still the same? Do you still want Canelo in your next fight?
Absolutely. Just I'm open for anybody. Like, look, just so many great champions right now here. Just Sergey, you know, a lot of boys, you know, just come on.
Got a little bit of commotion here in the ring, but that's okay. Did you learn anything about yourself in a fight like this? At 37 years old, do you have to do anything differently to fight at the top level?
I need to work hard, you know, just I need a little bit more focus.
What has to happen for you to get Canelo Alvarez in the ring?
Everything is ready. Just call to Canelo, just if he said yes, let's do it.
Congratulations, Gennadiy. You are world champion once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. You know, thank you, fellas. Thank you, guys.
I'm going to turn to Sergiy Derevyanchenko. He's over here. Sergey, second fight at Madison Square Garden. Second time you've come a little bit short, but it sure seems like you won the crowd. How are you feeling right now?
Я чувствую себя хорошо. Спасибо моим болельщикам, спасибо моей команде, что они мне помогали. И спасибо, кто пришел сюда, Нью-Йорк. Все мои болельщики с Украины, с Нью-Йорка, с Бруклина. Thank you so much.
I feel great. Thank you so much to all my fans, to everybody who came to Madison Square Garden. Thank you for my team. I want to thank everybody. It was a great night of boxing.
The second round, you took that bad cut. You can see it. Tough over your eye. You had to paw at it all night to keep the blood out of it. How did that cut change this fight?
Да, сечка мне иногда закрывала глаз. Я иногда не видел. И иногда, когда она затекал мой глаз, он меня находил боковым ударом.
The cut really changed the fight. I couldn't see at times, and he was targeting the eye, but, you know, no excuses. It is what it is. I was trying my best.
You told me before the fight your game plan was to move around and stay active in the ring. You took the fight to Gennadiy Golovkin in ways that we've seen few fighters do it in his entire career. What made you do that?
Потому что когда я начал двигаться, я ему начал давать пространство, и он начал меня попадать своими ударами длинными справа. Я решил, когда я с ним и его сталкиваю назад, тогда у него не получалось, и у меня больше получалось хороших атак.
When I started moving, I felt like I was giving him room, and I was getting hit with those looping shots that Golovkin threw, and that's why I started taking the fight to him and getting closer and not giving him room for maneuver.
You took that knockdown early in the fight, but it looks like you recovered extremely quickly. Did that give you any sense of just what his power would feel like?
То есть разница в чем с его ударами была?
Я не знаю, я не видел этот удар, и он мне попал в область затылка, в эту область. Да, и я нагибался, уклонялся вниз, и он мне правым попал в эту сторону, в затыльную сторону.
He hit me in the back of the head. He hit me behind the ear. I didn't really see the punch, but it didn't really affect me that much.
Took the shot in the back of the head.
Yeah. Да, я встал и начал продолжать бой, и не было сильно такого потрясения.
I got up and I wasn't really hurt, so I continued to fight, and you know, it was nothing too bad.
You've been in some close fights before. You had a narrow loss to Daniel Jacobs. You didn't get a rematch there. Do you believe you deserve a rematch to this fight?
Да, я бы хотел бы рематч, если это возможно, я готов.
I would like the rematch if it's possible. I'm ready.
Congratulations, Sergey, and a terrific performance.
Thank you.
Brian?
Chris, thank you very much. There's no question Sergiy Derevyanchenko fought beautifully tonight. With heart, with grit, with style, with energy. But look, the fight was close. We heard we're hearing it, I heard it today just walking in the streets, Sergio, that, hey, you know what, Golovkin beat Canelo and he got ripped off. No, he didn't get ripped off. He didn't quite get the benefit of the doubt. And tonight, Derevyanchenko didn't quite get the benefit of the doubt in the judges' minds in certain rounds. But I would just say this fight was close. The fight was close.
Incredibly close, but was that a big enough drama show for you? I mean, look, the trilogy might have to wait now. Derevyanchenko fought his tail off, bloody, bruised, knocked down, and he still might have pulled it off in some people's mind. It's not controversial. I'm really excited that we got a winner. That's definite, because I've been in draws. Draws, no one wins, especially after that brutal fight right there. Someone deserved to win.
You're right. And look, a lot of these fights are controversial, but they're just disputed. They're just close. And you can think, and you have to also remember, in your mind, in my mind, you go into it thinking, hey, Derevyanchenko's doing a little better than I thought, and maybe you give him the benefit of the doubt. A judge has to wipe that out of his mind and judge two humans in their boxing. You don't know who the champ is. You shouldn't know who the challenger is. You don't know who has what reputation. You just judge scoring blows, and I believe they did the best job possible. And I have no problem with this. I will say it again, though, Sergio. I'm a bit surprised. If you had asked me who won that fight, I would have thought Derevyanchenko would have gotten the call. What did you have it?
As a fighter, I have to judge adversity, and there was a lot of adversity being met by Derevyanchenko, the cut, the knockdown, being hurt, and then coming back to hurt Golovkin and pushing him back, doing something that we've never seen. Hurt that man right there, Golovkin. Back him up consistently. Make him miss. Make him pay. Back him up against the corner. Derevyanchenko followed the game plan that Andre Rozier set out for him. That's what winning is. As a fighter, I credit that. But it was a wonderful match, and the judges, yes, they have the toughest job in boxing.
Look, it's extremely difficult, and I tell fans all the time, and I've said this for decades now, hey, score it yourself. 10-9, add it all up at the end, that's how you have the fight. And maybe you think, oh, no, but this guy won. No. How you judge it, how you add up your numbers, that's how you scored the fight. And sometimes you don't like the result. Look, there's also something, I don't know if it's ironic or cruel, to Golovkin getting booed here at the Garden. Yeah. But look, that's what happens. Just as in his fights against Canelo Alvarez, where the fans thought, wait, Golovkin did enough to win, the fans here, recognizing the honesty of the effort from Derevyanchenko, say, wait a second, the made guy won this fight, we don't like that.
Fans can be fickle, we know that, especially in boxing, but I don't think that boo was intended directly at Golovkin. It was more that Derevyanchenko deserved more credit. He deserved more praise, and I think that's where the boos came from.
Let's take a look now through this fight. Again, it was fascinating from the start, and it looked like, I don't know, a reasonably slow start for Gennadiy Golovkin, where Derevyanchenko comes in. Again, the belt is on the line, and the belt is meaningful to these guys as they now go for their next fight. Certainly, Golovkin wants to get Canelo Alvarez for a third time. So as it opened up, again, you can see the activity, the busyness from Golovkin, and the knockdown. By the way, that knockdown did not change the result of this fight. You take away the knockdown, I believe it would still be a majority decision for Golovkin. So if you're thinking, well, the knockdown was the difference, actually, no, it wasn't. The cut in the second round, which again, we believe came from a hook. Derevyanchenko had to overcome all of that throughout every single round from that point forward.
He overcame every single thing thrown at him, literally, and he was able to hurt Golovkin to the body, never neglected the body, all the way to the end, into the championship rounds, kept digging away, kept moving Golovkin, pushing him aside, backing him up, not neglecting the jab. Every time he got hurt, he came back with 2-3 punches. That's what I was looking at. He faced adversity like a champion, but he didn't get the decision.
Again, later rounds, Derevyanchenko kept the pressure on, and just at any moment where you thought, okay, Golovkin is going to show the championship pedigree, Derevyanchenko came back and was just busy. Straight up the middle. Again, according to CompuBox, it was extremely close and punches landed. Slight edge to Golovkin. A fantastic fight, and I wouldn't say for once, but maybe in his mind, hey, this time I got the break. This time I got the call when it was razor, razor close, and Golovkin is able to walk out a winner when many people thought the other guy did better.
Just an incredible. I mean, that's the big drama show. That's as big as it gets. Golovkin, a champion again. Canelo said in order for the trilogy to happen, he had to beat a name, pick up another belt. He did just that. But are we going to see Canelo Triple G, or are we going to see the rematch with Derevyanchenko?